A 20th anniversary re-release that I don't think a lot of us saw coming. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. This is the Nike SB P-Rod 1, or if you want to go by the box label, the Paul Rodriguez Zoom Air Low Quick Strike. Ooh. Now, I never owned a pair of the originals, so I'm not going to be able to be a good reference as far as like comparing them to, you know, the past release and things like that. All I can do is talk about what they are like now, and so that's what I'm going to stick with. If you're interested in the box, this is what it is. It's a Nike SB box. The paper inside is the standard wood grain paper. These right here were not super easy to get. I do like what Nike did with them, even though I know that a lot of people don't love the whole like quick strike, they're hard to obtain type of thing, but they kept them to local skate shops. I think there was like one skate shop here in the whole area and they sold out hella fast. So that was kind of it for me. It was either that or sneakers. Luckily, there was another place where I was able to grab them for retail, and that was over at ID for Shoes. So that's where I grabbed these. No issues whatsoever. So if you were interested in grabbing a pair and you were still looking for a pair, maybe check them out. Now with that, the shoe itself visually looks like a really good recreation of the original. I don't know about toe box shapes and things like that, again, with this shoe, just because I didn't have the original one. So I won't be able to like go totally in depth, but based off of images, they do look very similar. The outsole is one of the things that I think is awesome though. Like, I just love herringbone. I think herringbone is great. And I know that a lot of times I will say like, oh yeah, you don't need a ton of like grip and things like that on a skateboard because the grip tape is doing most of the work, which is true. But I also always tend to leave out the whole pushing part. Like, you do grip the floor when you're pushing on a board, so some type of traction that's decent is going to be needed, and so herringbone is one of those things that just gets the job done. But as far as this gripping to your board, obviously the board's doing most of the work, so you don't have to worry about that. But gripping to the pavement, herringbone is dope. Through that outsole, you can see that it looks like there's a little carbon plate there, so I think that that's really sick. I don't know if that is legitimate carbon because I can't feel it, but if it is, that's fucking awesome, man. The outsole is attached to a rubber cup sole, very similarly to a Nike Dunk or an Air Jordan 1. It is sewn onto the upper, which is awesome, so even when the glue fails, the stitching is still going to be there, so the sole will still be attached. This is why a lot of original ones and Nike Dunks are actually wearable today, like the 80s version, as long as the rubber isn't super hard and cracks or breaks. And then in the rear, you can actually see what looks like to be a window through the sole, which it kind of is, kind of isn't. But inside there is a little Zoom airbag, which means that it's not attached to the insole itself like a lot of Nike SB Dunk insoles are. I don't think that this is a bad insole whatsoever. It's very thick and I like the way that it's sculpted and molded, so the more that you skate and like really pound this thing, it's going to really mold to your specific foot shape, which is going to be awesome. However, if you did have a spare Nike SB Dunk insole with an extra zoom unit in the heel, slapping that in this thing would mean that you would get double stack zoom, which is kind of dope.
Light bulb.
Plus they would have pour on in the forefoot, and these do not. Pour on is very comfortable. Now, in terms of the way that the cushion feels, it feels very similar to a Jordan 1 or a Nike Dunk, where you can't really feel much of anything. So if you really want to feel what these things offer, you're gonna have to really skate in them. If you're just wearing these casually as like a daily beater or a daily shoe, you might not really like feel the benefits of the zoom unit itself. The upper itself is very nice, at least I think. It's not the most premium cuts of leather by any means, but they are actual cuts of leather. They're just very thin. The polyurethane coat is very thin on top of that. And then they've done some things on there that I just find very interesting. So not only is the toe area very similar to a Dunk or a Jordan 1, but they've double stitched it, which is great for durability. And then they've also rolled the edges on like the main flick zone. So I think that that's kind of interesting too. Whereas they've left the cut lines just kind of open at the flex zone. So these little like points that you see on the toe boxes, those are actually like flex pieces. That's where you would flex, and the materials are supposed to move with you and more freely, so it's not restricting or digging into your feet. That was an old school thing in the 80s that everybody was like, hey, this is a great idea. And it is. It adds design, but it's also functional design. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they did roll some of the edges and then left the rest of it like kind of raw and cut. And yeah, and it's for an actual reasons. For durability, it's kind of sick. The back section, it looks quilted. That's actually a synthetic panel, so that's not like premium or anything like that, or premium feeling. And then the swoosh is, I think, really cool. It's actually not a material, or I mean it is, but it's not a layer. It's, well, I mean it is. It's not a panel, is what I mean. It's actually a layer underneath it, and it's like a fabric layer. It feels really cool. That to me feels like a premium touch. It's actually the same material that you'll find on the tongue, which is a nice puffy tongue, but not too puffy, just puffy enough. Standard Nike SB laces are already laced and equipped in the shoe, but they do come with a second pair, which is pretty standard for skate shoes in general. They are in a different color. If you wanted to swap one for one, you could do that. You can just wait till one breaks. I will say though that I love the branding. On the tongue, you got the Nike SB logo, but it's done up in, I don't know what this is called, but it's like not jeweled. It's just awesome. It's like a little emblem on there. It reminds me of a car. Same thing on the rear. It doesn't quite say Nike SB, but it does have the Nike branding on there, or verbiage. And again, I just think it looks really dope. So I think that this is like a really cool touch. If anything, this feels like a premium take on a skate shoe, whereas most skate shoes, at least at the time, these originally released in 2005. So in that era, things were just big, bulky, puffy. They were technically skate shoes, but also like, I don't know, like how to explain it. Like they were big for like no reason. The D301 is always like the main one that I go to. And I do know that that's a few years earlier than this release, but this was the era where things started to slim down a little bit. Got a little bit more technical. Things were purposefully put on the shoes. And again, they made this one feel like it was supposed to be a premium version of a skate shoe rather than just a heavy overboard skate shoe. Now with them being slimmed down, like I said, the tongue has still got some puff to it, which I really like. The internal sculpting is awesome too. It's not too heavily sculpted. It's just enough to really like cup your Achilles, your heel, your ankle area. It feels great. Now overall sizing, I'd say is true to size. However, they are a slight bit snug. So some people may want to go up half a size. The toe box is the main area. Like I think that all of the shoe feels really good. It's just the toe feels a little like tight. Maybe it just needs some breaking in, or maybe you just go up half a size, which is pretty standard, at least for me, with most skate shoes. But usually when I do buy skate shoes, they are from other brands. They're not from Nike SB. I buy them from S or Vans. Vans is the only one where I go true to size. But DC, all of those things, I will go up half a size minimum. Now, with all of that being said, what is today's user submitted question of the day?
What YouTube couple do you guys enjoy watching as a couple and or by yourselves?
So you're not a big YouTube viewer.
I'm not.
I am. This is the fun, this kills me actually. But like she will rewatch series of shows. Literally. How many seasons is Grey's Anatomy?
I think it's 20.
What the First off, why? Okay, why did something last that long?
It's still going.
What? They still have new episodes?
Yeah.
She will watch that stuff. She does not watch YouTube like I do. I am a YouTube connoisseur. I only go to YouTube. Like I have to like actually be diligent to be like, oh yeah, there's a new episode of Last of Us or whatever, to go anywhere else. And I say that to say that I actually don't watch a lot of YouTube couples. My favorite though, which I don't know if they count as a couple, but I'm gonna count it.
I'm counting it because it's the one that I will actually sit there and watch with you. I'm not like, wait for me, but I'm like, oh, okay.
It's when we both watch something together that's not YouTube, and then I go on this and I like the breakdowns, and it's Screen Crush. Ryan, Ari, and Doug.
The dog is so great.
They're goated, bro. You just gotta watch them, man. Like their interactions are so fun and clever, like obviously scripted, and that's very different from like the kind of content that we make where we're not scripted, we're just turn on and go. I love watching them. Outside of that, I don't really watch, like, I don't think any of the channels that I watch are couples.
You used to watch the guy who would show the girl movies that she's never seen.
Yeah,
so.
Watching like reactions of seeing something, some type of content for the first time.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I still will watch them. I think his name is Colton, or is it Holton?
No, that's the guy in the TV, isn't it?
Oh, Colton is the guy in the TV, but he doesn't know it, so don't tell him. Somebody tag them, by the way, because I'm straight up saying their taglines and shit.
Also, tell them to go watch Yellow Jackets so we can have somebody to break everything down for us.
Well, Yellow Jacket's just a weird-ass show.
I know, but it was really good, especially the first season.
And then it went left.
The second season was still really good. The third season was weird, which means I need somebody to explain more things to me. So, yeah, if somebody, especially them, could just go break down the episodes, that'd be great.
That's the thing. Like, they have a team of people that literally, like, will take the content that you love, or at least that I love, like nerd stuff, and they take it apart, and then they reference whatever it is that they're referencing. They'll also like do brief explainers on things. It's just good stuff. It's great to add context. So yeah, so after I watch like a movie, I'll watch Jeremy Jahns. But if I'm watching like nerdy stuff, it's gotta be Screen Crush all day. But what about you guys? What is your guys' favorite YouTube couple to watch? Is that what the question was?
What YouTube couple do you guys enjoy watching as a couple and or by yourselves?
There you go. What do you guys watch? Sound off below, let us know. And on top of that, let us know what you think about the P-Rods releasing for its 20th anniversary. Do you think this was a good move? Do you feel like Nike's doing too much retro? Like you're just like, bro, now you're retro on SBs, like what the Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.